to DFG Talks. Today we have the pleasure to introduce Konomi CEO and founder Jaden. Jaden, how are you?
Hi guys. Yeah, I'm doing great. It's my pleasure to be here to have a conversation with DFG.
Great. And on the other side, we have DFG CEO and founder James Wu. James, how are you?
Hello, Alex. Hello, everybody. This is James, and yeah, nice meeting you guys.
Okay, so for those of you who are not yet aware of what, let's say, Konomi or DFG are, let's start with you, Jaden, with Konomi. What is Konomi? What is the, let's say, value proposition that you have that brings, that will enhance the Polkadot ecosystem?
Okay, yeah. Maybe I will share a little bit more about why is Konomi. So I mean, like in terms of like value proposition, of course, we do have like a long-term goal, which is our vision, but we also have like a short-term goal, which is something that can be done in a time frame that we can see. So I mean, for our long-term goal, of course, the vision of Konomi at our beginning of establishment was that to enable financial applications on Ethereum or like any other public chain to seamlessly connect to the Polkadot ecosystem, and to provide the user with a complete asset management experiences from liquidity protocol to lending market, as well as management of the ecosystem assets. So because we believe that Polkadot actually has like more application scenarios, which are very different from Ethereum in terms of governance and also the functions of parachains. So basically, like Polkadot, we believe that it has like a better base layer performance. So in that sense, we believe that Polkadot-based financial applications will have like more opportunities to maybe compared to Ethereum or other public chains. Thus, at the initial stage of our design, for now, we have first built the underlying facilities, which are decentralized liquidity protocol and lending protocols. So basically, that's our long-term vision. We would like to build like a cross-chain finance infrastructure. So I mean, as a finance infrastructure, where we started everything with our lending modules, because we believe that there is a need for like every ecosystem to have solid lending projects. I mean, for us, we are like we started this project back in October last year. We are like the first project that goes grants from Web3 foundations through the pool lending modules. So that comes to our short-term goals. For short-term goals, yeah, people always say that we are going to be the compounds or RV of Polkadot ecosystem. I'm like seriously, it doesn't sound that innovative or creative, but it's not bad to become like a compound or RV of the Polkadot ecosystem, because I mean, like there's just a need for or demand for this kind of product. I mean, like have like a solid or product ready lending product as soon as possible, as soon as Polkadot itself is ready. So that could be like our short-term goals. Yes, we want to be like the best or the most product ready pool lending projects on the ecosystem. So we try to get our mainnet to be live as soon as possible. So basically, we will follow closely with the auctions and participate in the auctions at the early stage. So hopefully, we can get our mainnet to be live at the maybe later stage of this year. So that's basically like a quick introductions of our visions and why is Konomi.
Great, thank you very much, Jaden. So James, how about you? Would you like to introduce DFG and what is it that DFG does, please?
Sure. Hello, everyone. This is James. You know, basically, founder of DFG. Basically, what we are doing is basically we are an investment firm in the crypto industry for more than 6 years. We have three, long investing in two different kind of sector. The first is the active fund we established back to 2015. You know, it's pretty early stage. It's all about like there's no token at that time, so we just invest in two different startups, including basically at that time it's all about Bitcoin use cases, including exchange and other ones. So we invest into a company like Circle, LedgerX, UnoCoin, Brave Network, Block, Ripple, and Bisto and a couple of others. So a lot of exchange based in different jurisdiction and different Bitcoin use cases. And after 2017, we think tokens really become more popular. I think it probably makes sense for both investors to get involved and also the project to raise money through that way. So we established the token fund, crypto fund, which is probably the token fund. So we invest pretty heavily into different layer one protocol, including Polkadot, Near, Avalanche, Solana, and a couple of others. So that's basically a new type of, a layer one protocols, which, focus on the proof of stake and, a new mechanism. The largest and the most, successful bet for the company or the investment for the company is Polkadot. Currently we hold around like a 15 million DOT, and we generate super, a good and healthy, a return on top of that. So that's pretty good from the investment side from us, and the largest position we have is Polkadot. So based on that, we actually started, investing to different Polkadot ecosystem project and established a Polkadot ecosystem fund back to more than a year ago, and start from early 2020. So we invest into a couple of good Polkadot, the first bunch of basically Polkadot project in China, including Bifrost, Cross, Darwin, Akala, Litton Trees, and others. And also we invest into a lot of overseas good projects, including Tidal Finance, Refinance, Polka Starter, Fracture Konomi Network, Etherland, Manta, and a few others. Overall, I think currently we have the project investors supporting the Polkadot ecosystem have, exceed probably more than 20. And I think it really makes sense for us to, invest into ecosystem and also help the, overall the Polkadot project to grow in the future. So that's basically us. From the investment side, we have 3 different funds. I would say right now we are pretty much focused on the last 2, the crypto fund, which focus on the layer 1 protocol, and also the Polkadot ecosystem fund. For others, we also operate in 2 business. The first is, the licensed exchange in Middle East called Matrix, and the other is, layer 1 protocol called Ethereum Classic. So that's basically what we are doing and what DFG is working on right now.
So James, you were talking about having a 15 million DOT wallet at the moment, or approximate, right? And having over 20 projects within the DOT ecosystem, let's say within the Polkadot ecosystem. What brings you to DOT? Why did DOT become so attractive to you starting on 2020?
Yeah, we do have like 15 million DOT right now, which was, I mean, the market price change every day, but, was like more than $400 million. The reason why we are so involved in this protocol is, when you take a look at, the current situation, Bitcoin is there, it's definitely the parent of basically all the cryptocurrency, and it's digital code, mainstream capital back it and believing it, it's good. And Ether, it's good. You have a large ecosystem, you got all the, smart contract built on top of that, and you got a pretty much, also infrastructure being pretty, solid there as well. So, these 2 ecosystems are pretty strong and, good right now. But, once you're going to figure out like the one problem in the 2 large ecosystem is about scalability, right? So Bitcoin didn't solve it, Ether didn't solve it. But Bitcoin's fine because basically people can just store values throughout Bitcoins. It doesn't necessarily to be used as a payment tool or whatever, right? You can find other ways to achieve that goals, not through Bitcoin, right? But for Ether, since you're gonna build use cases and application on top of that, then scalability become a really serious problem for Ether. Unless you solve it, then I think the protocol will face serious challenge from other competitors. Just you can see like a month ago, whether it's Heckle or Binance Smart Chain, they're all just simply fork the code of Ether and doing pretty well on the TVL side. They got like at least like 10% of TVL of Ether, which means Ether do have the problem right now about scalability, and it's still proof of work right now. It's not, basically you stake your Ether into the network, then you can only get it back after Ethereum 2.0 launch, probably, I don't know, maybe 2 years later. So right now Ethereum do face some problem. And Polkadot, not only, as far as I understand, it's the only protocol right now which it could be the other protocol challenges in the future, but right now it's probably the only protocol which is not only solve the problem of scalability of Ether, Hackle and Binance Smart Chain solve the problem, but there's another, it's basically backed by a centralized exchange, right? So it's, I think from the basic layer side, whether people will challenge this fully decentralized, is that China focused or whatever, there are all kind of problems there. But for Polkadot, it's not only solve the problem of scalability issue, transact, if you transfer dot on the network, it's not super expensive, but also it's basically make fundamental progress on the basic layer. It's the protocol you can build a pair chain in the Polkadot ecosystem instead of building a smart contract and build on the Ethereum network. So it's the fundamental difference. So instead of just trying to solve the scalability problem, we also have a much better fundamental things for Polkadot. So once it get launched, once the pair chain auction of Kusama and that goes smoothly, once we see more projects moving to the Polkadot ecosystem, in one day we will see Polkadot will become top 3 protocol or even larger than Ethereum in the future. So that's why we are getting so excited and so deeply involved in this one.
Thank you, James. Jaden, James has just talked about Ethereum, right? So he's talked about the issues that Ethereum has had, and you were mentioning that Konomi has been compared to certain platforms, right? To Compound, among others, which are good platforms, but if I'm not mistaken, they're based on ERC20, right? They are based on Ethereum. Am I correct?
Yeah, correct. Yes, exactly.
So what types of let's say, I don't want to call them weaknesses, but what types of advantages for the yield farming or liquidity mining platforms, or for the lend area in total within DeFi, right? What did you find? How do you think that how do you think that Konomi can bring, what do you think that Konomi can bring in general to DeFi? Let's go broad, right? To DeFi. What do you think Konomi brings to this Polkadot ecosystem that can advance what has already been reached by certain platforms, which are very good, but what can Konomi bring that will, let's say, push the boundaries further?
Okay, yeah. So I completely agree with like what James has mentioned just now. So I mean, like the big issues with Ethereum or any like Ethereum-based project is the scalability, like including compounds. I mean, like of course, compounds are very solid projects. On Ethereum, we don't doubt about this. Like the first one, they use financial market protocols on Ethereum, which really like make all those digital assets have like a true currency attribute. However, but you can see, I mean, like on Ethereum, you see the transaction speed is very slow. I mean, it has like a super high gas fee, but people are still like using them, right? Why are the people using them? Because those people, they don't like things that are decentralized. They like products that's transparent. So basically, like even though the gas fee is high, because it's slow, it's still fine with it. So I mean, like that's a good track or trend for DeFi. Like the people is really like embracing DeFi, but we need to make DeFi even greater. I mean, like just look at any products or applications on Ethereum, or we're just talking about like in terms of user experience. Like none of them has like a user experience which is close or similar to any like solid applications in the fiat world, right, or in the traditional IT industries. I mean, you talk about the user experience, you can see like how slow the transaction is, how congested the network is. So I mean for us, we are like a Polkadot-based project. So what we want to try to solve is actually the weakness, I would say, okay, of what's happening on Ethereum. So, I mean, like James has mentioned about like the upgrading from Ethereum 1 to Ethereum 2.0. I don't know which is going to happen, like when it's going to happen, maybe a year or two. But basically, what changes is just the consensus, right? They change from like proof of work to proof of stake. But when it comes to the fundamental structure, the basic structure of the ecosystem of the protocol is still the same. Yeah, it doesn't make it like a completely different things, and also it will take a long time for projects on Ethereum 1 to migrate to, or assets or project on Ethereum 1.0 to migrate to Ethereum 2.0. So in that sense, I believe that Polkadot is still like ahead of them, like in terms of developments. when we compare to Ethereum 2.0. I mean, like even if Ethereum 2.0 is ready, Polkadot still has a better performance or a better basic layer structures. Yeah, due to this parachain plus relay chain structure, as well as the cross-chain transactions once the XMP is available. Yeah, so I mean for Konomi, what's really makes us a difference is that we are first of all we are doing it on an independent chain. Currently, we are building it on Substrate. Subsequently, I mean, once parachain is ready, we'll go for the auctions. If we have like our own chains, of course, yeah, we use this independent chain project, which means we have like a much better scalabilities, right? And if like we compare with like a Polkadot with another protocols that supports cross-chain, let's say Cosmos. Cosmos has a good scalability, but I mean security is one reason that they are a little bit behind for now. Yeah, so I think Polkadot has a better balance between like scalability and also securities. So it's like the best choice for us. So so for now, since we are building an independent chain, we have like a larger rooms for scalabilities, which means we could like integrate more DeFi applications from others. That's why I always like emphasize or mention that we are just building the infrastructure. We build a solid infrastructure. We won't be building every applications on our own chains. That we would like to like invite other projects to build their palettes or applications on our chains. So at that point of time, I think the ecosystem is going to be like more lively, or it has like more opportunities and more rooms for different financial scenarios in future. Like once I mean the parachain is ready and Polkadot itself is ready. So that's something that I believe that we have like a advantage over similar projects on Ethereum. And also, maybe like with the improvement and the promotions of the DID, which is the decentralized identity infrastructure, we can also like design more products or more structures. For example, we could design a set of reputation mechanism to reduce the burden of the mortgage for users with good reputation. Is something that we could also earn in future. So what I'm trying to like highlight here is that Polkadot basically give us like more potentials. I mean, yeah, for the future developments and more rooms for being innovative and creative. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much, Jaden. So on the other hand, we have kind of the project perspective, right? The solving a specific use case, which would be Konomi. If we go to the other side, which would be James, right? The investor's perspective, and let's say these important companies which are assisting in the growth of the ecosystem, which are raising capital or assisting with leadership, helping overall the ecosystem grow, and special projects like Konomi, which will bring, as I said before, they're going to be pushing the boundaries. James, what made you let's say, yeah, what made Konomi an attractive investor? What did you see in Konomi as a solution for this use case that we've seen through Ethereum, and that we think that Polkadot will be, let's say, the base layer to solve all these issues?
Sure, that's a great question. From DFG side, we just, first of all, I think, Polkadot ecosystem is doing pretty early stage. The parachain auction didn't start yet. There's no parachain yet. So I guess, everyone have a chance to, to do that, as long as it has good vision, good team, good technology. So that's, still early stage. So overall, our strategy from the investment side in the Polkadot ecosystem is we want to support and invest, as more as possible in the Polkadot ecosystem, because we don't want to invest in one specific sector, let's say DeFi or NFT or decentralized storage or privacy. We don't want to focus one sector because it's so early stage. I think every sector get a chance to become pretty big in the future. So one parachain, focus on privacy. If it's reached the top level, it could be Monero or Zcash, right? If it's DeFi focused, it could be Uniswap, it could be MakerDAO in the future. So it's not first of all, I just want to clarify that our investment strategy in the Polkadot ecosystem is as diversified as possible. Not like other layer one, protocol investment, we have to, kind of like really focus on a couple of, top tier layer one, protocol. I think that's enough. You don't need like more than 10 protocols for layer one side. But for Polkadot ecosystem, as far diversified as possible is our strategy. To be honest, we see a couple of great deals in the ecosystem, Polkadot ecosystem on DeFi side. For example, we investing in Akala, which focus on lending and stablecoin, Manta, which focus on privacy. We do investing in Etherland, which is the aggregator, and also investing in the Polkastarter, which focus on fundraising for different projects. We invest into Brightforce, which is focused on liquidities for to solve the staking problem. But Konomi network is really also the one among all of them is pretty a unique and good one from my understanding. It's basically provide a one-stop solution for the customer. Not only focus on lending and borrowing, but also on asset management and cross-chain liquidity. So basically, it covers a lot of sector in the DeFi sector in the DeFi industry, and also give you a one-stop solution for user, and it's pretty easy to use, right? So I think that's also a pretty good vision, and which is definitely necessary in the Polkadot ecosystem in the long term. And also from the team and the team side, and we are also seeing it's a pretty good team which work on things down to the earth and make things work, which is pretty unique and pretty good also in the industry as well. So that's also another reason why we are supporting it, and we are the idea is good, the vision is good, also the team is nice. So that's why we are getting to Konomi network and really want to invest and support it. Thanks.
Great, thank you very much, James. I'm going to come back to you, Jaden. I'd like to ask you about your governance structure, right? And do you have any plans for change? How can you explain this to the people that will be seeing this video? What is your governance structure, and what evolution do you expect for it to have?
I mean, of course, for now we are like in the midst of building our governance module. Of course, as a DeFi project, it's definitely essential to support decentralized governance. For now, I think what we do is like still quite a standard. Of course, the design and the implementation of the protocol will be determined by our token holders. We are still working on the exact parameters. For example, parameters that could be like pool stacking fees, transaction fee per liquidity mining ratios, and also like the user, they can vote for like what kind of assets that can be used in the pool as collaterals. Basically that's how they can participate in the governance process. Of course, some of the parameters they'll be initially set by the protocol itself. But in future, of course, our tokens holders, they could update all this number or like even change the smart contract itself based on the voting process. So in order to encourage our users to participate in the process, we also have some incentive for them. We could provide some profit and reward for our voting participants, because based on our tokenomics, actually we have like reserved 15% of the entire token supply to be used as an incentive for the users. So that's a strategy that we adopt to kickstart our governance process. Yeah.
Great. So Jaden, I'll stay with you for a second, right? So you're giving, let's say, a substantial amount of power to token holders, right? Which is important because it is the the base for a decentralized system, right? That is what it's been based about. So if we focused on a specific group of token holders, we could go to the importance of, for example, Asia and China specifically. What kind of effect do you think the Chinese market will have for your business model, being them part of the token holders that I can imagine that you have, right?
Yes. I mean, like China is a big market. It for all industry. I mean, for all industries, a big and emerging markets is regardless of the fiat world or the crypto world. And I mean, the population is there. The market size is there. I mean, like everybody just will prioritize on Chinese market nowadays. Yeah, but maybe for crypto, it's a little bit different. Okay. Of course, like before I go to this point, I want to say that the Chinese has a great Polkadot communities. You can see a lot of the great projects in the ecosystem. They are based in China. Yeah, then like a lot of the Chinese crypto enthusiasts or fans, they have like a pretty solid understanding about what is Polkadot, and they are being like actively supporting Polkadot since day one. So I mean, you already have like a very big or community here. So that's why it's important. I mean, for every project to have some really like solid marketing strategies in China. Like none of the project, I believe, they can miss the Chinese markets. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't think they will go anywhere further. Yeah. So I mean, for China market, it's just a little bit different from the rest of the world. I mean, when it comes to like marketing, yes, it's a little bit tougher, I would say. But because of several things, I mean, like language barrier could be one thing. I mean, like for Chinese audience, it's a little bit hard for them to do some self-research on the other projects. Yeah. Because of the language barrier. And the other thing could be like the use of the internet. There are certain restrictions in China. I mean, it's a little bit hard for them to access to some of the information. So that's why we have like a marketing team in China that's been helping us like translating all the necessary documents. Yeah, and help us to like promote the projects in different communities and hold down sessions like AMS in Chinese. But the good thing about us is that we are like a Singapore-based team. So myself is a Chinese. Like I was born in China, but I migrated to Singapore when I was like 11. So I can speak Mandarin. I understand the culture here. So it's easier for me like to really like talk with the people here, to connect with the community here. I mean, compared to some other non-Chinese based projects, so that could be like the advantage of one of the advantage for Konomi. Yeah. So when it comes to like marketing in China, we still have like a long way to go. We used to be like pretty quiet. I mean, before we announced about our ideals on 16 March. Yeah. We used to be quiet in the Chinese communities, but now I think it's getting like much better. Like we get like more exposure on some of the mainstream medias in China, like including Chin News. Yeah, we also have built up our communities on WeChat. So yeah, so there's a huge or significant progress for us. So of course, like we need to have like more exposures on China markets. So yeah, we already have like some marketing campaigns that was dedicated to the Chinese audience. So yeah, I mean, I guess can follow us on our social media. We will reveal the details later.
Great, thank you very much, Jade. And James, I'm gonna go ahead and pass to you and ask you pretty straightforward. How do you think the relationship with Konomi, or the partnership, this DFG Konomi partnership, how do you think it will grow? What do you expect from it?
Yeah, sure. So we are not, because basically we are long-term strategic holder for that. So every ecosystem project we are getting deeply involved, not just being a financial investor, but also we really support a project from different sector. As Jaden mentioned that, Konomi is, launched, March the 16th on PolkaStarter, which is a pretty good thing. That means like the retail investor can participate in the public sale and also start trading on the DEX, on Uniswap and others, which is good. And for the next step, I think Konomi, on the capital side, Konomi network need to move forward. Kind of like they will probably get listed on more centralized exchange. Does give more access for different investors to get involved and hold the token. That's one thing. The second is more from the product side. We will definitely as long as it's a good product, right? So we are going to not only become an investor, but also become a user of it, right? It's basically provide a real product with good solution. People need it. Then we DFGs also become a user of Konomi network as well. The third what I will mentioned is pretty unique in the Polkadot ecosystem is about peer-to-peer action. Basically, that need capital, basically to all, to connect with the project pretty deeply. It's about peer-to-peer action. The project has good product to offer, but once you need to win the peer-to-peer action for the peer-to-peer slide, you need a lot of capital to support it, right? So that's one unique things in the Polkadot ecosystem that which band the investor and the project pretty closely, and this is also something we are willing to do with Konomi Network and also the other strategic investment we made in other projects as well.
Thank you, James. Jaden, do you have any last words? Would you like to share your thoughts as well between the Konomi and DFG partnership for the future?
Yeah, of course. That's like a little bit shout out to James, and just appreciate the support from DFGs. Yeah, I mean, you guys really like trust us and believe in us, like what we can do for the ecosystem. So yeah, I mean, of course, we are just a little bit maybe like a secret review of what we are going to do in the upcoming weeks. I mean, it's probably going to be like the first reviews in public once the video is available. So yeah, I mean, we keep it like a secret for now, but yeah, I can give a hint. So we are going to we want to make our image as a very solid team when it comes to developments. We are supporting some really cool stuff. So yeah, we are going to launch our testnet probably in a month time or before the end of March. So yeah, we will do launch of our testnet. I mean, just like an alpha version of the testnet by invitation first. So we will do our marketing campaigns to distribute our invitation codes to the communities, so they can get a previews of what our product is. Even though we do not have support real assets for now, I mean, none of the project can support real assets for now, but the user they can get some test tokens. At least they can try out our landing modules, yeah, which have been delivered to the Web3 foundations, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big events coming in March. So yeah, I would really like to say thanks the communities for supporting us.
Great. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much, both of you, for your time, James, Jaden. We appreciate it. And thank you for sharing this important news, Jaden. I know it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be an exciting month for both DFG and Konomi. Yeah. And any last words for the public that is listening and watching you right now? James, can we start with you?
Yeah, I can start first. Just as you guys may know, we are pretty heavy in the product ecosystem, so we may end up with investing like maybe 100 projects. By the end of this year in the product ecosystem, it could happen, right? So as long as you are building interesting stuff in the Polkadot ecosystem, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we really want to support any kind of idea you have. And you can find us on Twitter. You can find us on DFG group on Twitter as well, and myself is Real James Wall. You can also ping me on Telegram as well if you have anything you want to reach out and to ask or discuss. Happy to talk to different people about our different idea. And thanks.
Thank you, James. Jaden, any last words?
Yeah, just a little bit add on. So from what James has said, so the same thing goes for us. I mean, if anybody is building some really cool stuff on the Polkadot ecosystems, then please feel free to approach us through our Telegrams, or just ping me on Telegrams, or you can show me my emails or like message me on Twitter, so whatever channel that works for you. So we are like very open to communicate and to work together with other good projects, not necessarily to be Polkadot-based project, but also we are open to partnership with other good projects from other layer 1 protocols. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, James. Thank you very much, Jaden, and thank you everyone that has been watching this today. This will be it for this version of DFG Talks, and we will see you again soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, James. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.